And the Indian Sports Network is on the air. Good evening, everybody. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from Wright City High School in Wright City, Missouri. And tonight we're going to see a varsity basketball game between the home team, Wright City Lady Wildcats, and your hometown Lady Indians of Elsberry High School. We just got done watching a game here. Well, you didn't. I did. Got done watching a junior varsity game here, and Elsberry came out victorious in that game by a score of 32-17. And so let's hope we can continue that streak and have the Lady Indians win tonight and improve their record. Right now, the Lady Indians are 6-7 on the year. They've had a few tough losses, and so let's see if we can get this turned around tonight. And I believe the Lady Wildcats are 4-6. I've seen them play this year. I saw them play up at Clopton at their tournament, and they lost a very close game to Silex in the consolation game of that tournament. So they are nothing to take for granted. So the Lady Indians are going to have to work tonight to win this game. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into the rosters of these two teams. I'll give the starting lineups as they are announced. For the Lady Wildcats, we have number 2, Caitlin Johnson. Number 5, Emily Shanuel. Number 10, Abby Rains. Number 11, Kelsey Capstick. Number 12, Emma Wiggerson. Number 13, Riley Shear. Number 14, Katie Shanuel. Number 15, Ellie Rodriguez. Number 20, Jasmine Simpson. Number 21, Dayton Gurley. Number 23, Mercedes Ray. And number 24, Candace Hall. That is the roster for the Lady Wildcats. And now for your Elsberry High School Lady Indians. We have on the roster tonight, number 2, Tiny Henderson. Actual name, Tanisha. Number 4, Peyton Robinson. Number 5, Addison Steele. Number 10, Candace Dowell. Number 11, Neosha Henderson. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler. Number 14, Abby Jenkins. Number 15, Mackenzie Gladney. Number 20, Kelsey Flaster. Number 24 is Lily Smith. Number 25, Samara Manuel. Number 31, Bella Mozzie. Number 32, Olivia Kinsler. Number 41, Alyssa Love. And number 43, Tyra Henderson. That is the roster for Elsberry High School. And again, starting lineup, I'll give you that as they are announced. No need for me to give them first. Just a waste of time and breath. So anyway, like I was saying, Wright City Wildcats, Lady Wildcats, they, I believe, are 4-6 on the season. They did have a game the other night that I do not know the results of. And the Elsberry Lady Indians, their last game was against Orchard Farm, and they won that game. They were supposed to have played at Louisiana, or they were supposed to play Louisiana at Elsberry last Friday night, but the snow won that game. And so now that game's going to be played tomorrow night. We got a busy week of basketball coming up this week. Let's see, the boys and girls both at Elsberry tomorrow night against Louisiana. Wednesday night is going to be, what is it? It's the boys. I'm doing this from memory right now. But it's going to be the boys against Union High School. Thursday night, no game, and Friday night they play, boys and girls both play at Lutheran High School, St. Charles. And as always, I will be there at those games to bring them to you if you can't be there in person. You're better off to be there in person and help cheer them on. So anyway, with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go before this game starts, let's go ahead and get a few commercials in here.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. These days, the concept of value matters more than ever, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay, Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Okay, we are back. And as you can see, the Elsberry girls out there still practicing. But I got a feeling that any second now here, yeah, they're going off the court. I was going to say any second now, we're going to have starting lineups. And that's whenever I will announce them to you. They'll be given the Elsberry team first. And then the home team, Lady Wildcats. There's the buzzer showing 1 minute to go to start this game. And as you can tell, I got a little bit different view tonight. We're on the other side of the court, and got the teams instead of right below me. We got the teams on the other side of the court. That's just the way this gymnasium's set up. And so here we're going to have the national anthem. So let's take a break right here. Okay, we are back. I don't know if you could hear that or not. But let's go ahead and get our starting lineups as they are announced. Starting tonight for Elsberry, number 2, Tanisha Henderson. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler. Number 15, Mackenzie Gladney. Number 20, Kelsey Flaster. And number 43, Tyra Henderson. That's your starting lineup for the Elsberry Lady Indians. And now for the home team. Number 2, Caitlin Johnson. Number 10, Abby Rains. Number 11, Kelsey Capstick. Number 20, Jasmine Simpson. And number 21, Dayton Gurley. That's a starting lineup for the hometown. The hometown home team, Wright City Lady Wildcats. So we have 8 minutes on the clock. And the referees have taken their jackets off. I guess they're not cold out there. They got to show their stripes. So we are getting ready to start this game. Let's see who's going to jump against who. I'm willing to bet it's going to be Kelsey Flaster jumping. And she's the one heading into the W. And it's going to be against number 20, Jasmine Simpson. Ball is up, and Elsberry controls. And we have Tiny Henderson out on the high post, and she gets it right underneath to Mackenzie Gladney, and she can't hit from underneath. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. So, Wright City with the ball, keeping it out on the perimeter right now, looking for a way to get it inside. And I thought that for a second that ball was thrown away, but it was not. No score early in this game. And once again, Wright City tried to get it inside. There's a shot by number 11, whatever her name is. I'll get it here in a second. And the rebounds are all going to Wright City. And there's Kylie Kinsler breaking it up. Gets it into Tiny Henderson. She drives it in. Can't get the shot, but she does draw the foul. And that shooter for, original shooter for Wright City was Kelsey Capstick. I knew she had a name other than just 11. So we have Tiny Henderson on the line for a free throw. And it's good. So, scoring is started by Elsberry here. Second free throw is good. 2-0, Elsberry. A little over a minute gone in this game. And broken up by Elsberry, and Tyra Henderson put the shot up but couldn't get it to drop. They've got to get those shots from underneath. I saw a travel there, but I guess I was the only one in the building that saw it. Anyway, Wright City took a shot and couldn't get it to drop either. And there is Jasmine Simpson for 2 points. Right underneath to Kylie Kinsler, and 2 points. She got her shots. And I missed who that first foul was on for Wright City. And they are not putting them up on a scoreboard, so somebody either took a picture or there's lightning inside this building. Right underneath to Wright City, and the ball is out of bounds off of Wright City. So Elsberry gets the ball back with a score of 4-2, Elsberry. 5.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Tiny Henderson brings it down the floor. Tries to get it over to Kylie Kinsler. Jeez, I apologize to her for not getting her name right. I think I had a stroke or something. Wright City takes a shot from 15 feet. No good, and Kinsler up with that rebound. And Tiny brings it up the floor pretty fast. Long cross-court pass. Tiny takes a 15-foot shot, no good. And out of bounds off of Wright City, stays with Elsberry. Flaster gets the ball out of bounds to, tries to get it into Tyra Henderson. And knocked out of bounds by Wright City. Dayton Gurley broke that one up. All right, now they get the ball in, and Dayton Gurley steals that. So Wright City brings it back up the floor, down by 2 points. Drives the baseline, can't get it there, so they push it back out again. Now there's a 20-foot shot, no good. And Wright City comes up with that rebound. And there was Kelsey Capstick, and she was called for traveling. So once again, Elsberry with a 4-2 lead. And they get the ball, and here comes Candace Dowell in for Kelsey Flaster. Candace tries to drive in. It's not there. She hands it off to Tyra, who hands it off to Tanisha. And she takes a shot. No good. And Kylie Kinsler up with the rebound. And they take it back out to the point to Tanisha. Peyton, there was Peyton Robinson with a long three-pointer that was no good. 3.5 minutes. And now the ball is stolen by Tiny Henderson. Right underneath to Kylie Kinsler, and she misses from 0 feet. Wright City working the ball around, they're working the ball very well. They're just not able to get it down underneath. Tries to drive the ball in. Here's a 15-foot shot, no good. And Kinsler with the rebound. She was bumped pretty hard, but they didn't call a foul. Peyton Robinson underneath and kicks it back out. Candace Dow with the shot, and it rims in and out. Nobody can seem to find the underside of the basket. And now we have a timeout called. 30-second timeout for Wright City. Let's take a quick break here.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, we are back. There is 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Score is 4-2 Elsberry, and it's been 4-2 for the last 2.5 hours. Wright City cannot get their shot, and Elsberry comes up with the rebound. Candace Dow has it, gets it in deep to Peyton Robinson, and she takes it to Tiny Henderson, and she's there for 2 points. Nice little 10-foot shot for Tiny Henderson. Elsberry with a little bit of pressure. Wright City gets past it pretty easy. And Wright City couldn't get their shots to drop, and Candace Dow brings it up the floor. Sets it up, gets it on the post to Kinsler. Now it's underneath. And Tyra Henderson takes 2 shots from underneath. They don't drop in, but she does draw the foul. And that foul was on number 20, Jasmine Simpson. Tyra with first free throw is no good. It's going to be a little bit harder to tell who's got fouls tonight because he's giving those signals all the way across the court. Tyra's second shot bounces in and out. And there is a foul on Peyton Robinson. That is her first. Puts number 11, Kelsey Capstick, on the line. First free throw is no good. Bounces out of the inside of the rim. And here comes her second shot. It'll be in play. She makes that one. So Elsberry with the ball and a 6-3 lead with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. There's a three-point attempt. No good for Dow. Kylie Kinsler looked at driving in and couldn't do it. Now Candace Dow drives in and takes a 10-foot shot, and it's good. Little half-hearted, half-court pressure by Elsberry, and right in underneath. Good play there for Dayton Gurley. 8-5 is the score. Candace Dow brings it up the court. Gets it over to Flaster, but she mishandles it, and Wright City is there, and Wright City could not hit their shot. That was Abby Raines. Peyton Robinson for two, no good. And she gets her own, well, no. Let's just see what they're calling a foul here. See what this is. Couldn't see who that foul was on. Maybe on, I don't know. I can't keep track of the fouls if I can't see who gets them. Tanisha with a shot, no good, but Mackenzie Gladney puts up a 5-foot shot. And that is the end of the first quarter. The score is 10-5, Elsberry over Wright City. Let's take a break.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home, using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, we are back, and Wright City has the ball. And they're passing it around on the perimeter. And now they tried to drive underneath, and there was a very soft foul called on Peyton Robinson. That's her second. Foul on the floor, so there's no shooting. Get the ball underneath now, back out, 15-foot shot, and it's good for number 21, Dayton Gurley. Gets the ball into the free throw line for Tyra Henderson, back out to Candace Dow, all the way over to Tanisha. Peyton Robinson takes a shot from underneath, couldn't get the shot to fall, but does draw the foul. And that foul is on number 20, I believe, Jasmine Simpson. That's at least her second. Peyton Robinson's first free throw is good. Second free throw is good. Makes the score 12-7. And Candace Dow steals that ball. Gets it back out to Tyra Henderson. She gets it over to Tanisha Henderson. She has it out, was on the point. Now they're out on the high post. Tyra Henderson looked at a three-pointer. Candace Dow looked at one. There's a 20-foot shot, 25-foot shot for Tyra Henderson. No good. And Wright City with the rebound. Wright City tries to get the ball in deep, knocks it back out, and there was Candace Dow to break that up. So, Wright City out on the point. Again, just keeping it out on the perimeter. Looking for anything down deep. And so far, they're not finding it. And Kylie Kinsler in there to break up that play. 6:07 remaining in the first half. Wright City gets the ball in. Elsberry's letting them have everything out on the perimeter. Now they get it in deep. Puts it up and no good. That was Dayton Gurley from right underneath, and her shot was no good. Candace Dow had the ball stripped out of her hands. So Wright City back down on their end of the court. Ball passed right to Elsberry, and Tyra Henderson comes up with it, has control of it. Gets it over to Tanisha, underneath to Kylie Kinsler. She tries to shoot. The shot is blocked, but she draws a foul. And that foul is on number 21, Dayton Gurley. That's at least her first. They've got 5 team fouls, and I'm only showing 3. So Kylie Kinsler on the line. First shot bounces off the front of the rim, no good. So second shot, if she misses, will be in play. But she doesn't miss. Elsberry with a full court press. Now Kylie Kinsler knocked that one away. And Wright City having a lot of trouble getting it down the court, but they finally did. It was broken up 2 or 3 times by Elsberry. The ball went out of bounds off of Elsberry and stays with Wright City. 20-foot shot for Wright City, and Kinsler comes up with the rebound. And there's Flaster for 3, no good, and Wright City gets the rebound. Flaster had 2 or 3 three-pointers in the JV game. And Kylie Kinsler once again doing the Kylie Kinsler act. She breaks up that pass, but it's out of bounds. There's a 25-foot shot, no good. Rebounded by Tyra Henderson. And her pass was way off the mark. So Wright City takes over. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. 13-7 is the score. Elsberry over Wright City. 5 team fouls against Wright City, 2 team fouls against Elsberry. So Wright City is nowhere near a bonus. And that ball was thrown out of bounds, last off of Wright City, Elsberry's ball. Tanisha Henderson brings it up slowly. Gets it across the timeline. And over to Kinsler. Over to Flaster. Get it in deep to Tyra. She tries to get the ball up and cannot get the shot, and Wright City pulls it in. After driving the baseline, they get the ball back out in the perimeter, and the shot was no good from Capstick. And Kinsler brings it up the floor. That ball knocked out of the air. And it went out of bounds. They're saying off of Elsberry, so it's Wright City's ball. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Wright City again out on the perimeter. Now they get it down onto the baseline, and that ball stolen by Candace Dow. Ball's knocked away by Kelsey Capstick, so it's going to be Elsberry's ball under the basket. Tyra Henderson's taking it out. Gets it into Dow, and that ball stripped away from her. And as she was taken off, that was Abby Raines for Wright City, and as she was taken off, she turned the ball over. So Dow has it outside, gets it into Tanisha Henderson. And Dow takes a three-point shot, no good. And Tyra tries to get it in, and not there. And that long, that long drive was unsuccessful for Wright City, and Elsberry brings it down the floor, and Tyra Henderson cannot get a shot away, but it's knocked out of bounds. Stays with Elsberry. 10-foot shot for Tanisha Henderson, no good. And now Elsberry steals the ball back from the rebound. Neither team doing a very good job of hitting their shots. Candace Dow for three, no good. Right underneath is Tyra and cannot get it to fall. Ten-foot shot for Wright City, no good, and Tyra Henderson brings the ball up fast, and she's looking at the basket. She runs right into, I believe it's number 10. Yes, it is, number 10, Abby Raines. And Abby Raines fouls her. That was not an offensive foul. So Tyra Henderson on the line now for 2 free throws. First shot is up and good. That's her first point tonight. Kinsler back in. Abby Jenkins is in. Candace Dowell is in. Shot is no good, and Wright City gets the rebound. Candace Dowell tries to break that one up, and it goes out of bounds. .147 to go in the first half. Score is 14-7. And that ball stolen out of the air by Tyra Henderson. She tries to force the shot, and it doesn't go in. And Wright City with the rebound, gets it back down the floor. And there was a travel called on Emily Shanuel. Emily, number 5. And there's a three-point attempt for Kylie Kinsler is no good. And now what do we have? There was a foul on Candace Dowell. Hey, that rhymes. There was a foul on Candace Dowell. I'm a poet and don't know it. I can make a rhyme any old time. And Wright City keeping it on the perimeter and knocked out of the air by Jenkins. Shot is no good, and from right underneath, Mercedes Ray couldn't get it to fall. But Jasmine Simpson did. She got the shot and drew a foul, and that foul is on Abby Jenkins. It's her first. And a free throw is no good. Candace Dowell for three and just hits the inside of the rim and bounces out. Jenkins breaks up that play, but Wright City maintains control. Jenkins broke that one up too, and Kylie Kinsler with the ball takes a long shot, no good. But that is the end of the first half, and the score is 14-9, so it's not exactly a high-scoring affair here. And you're not going to have a high-scoring affair when nobody can hit their shots. So, anyway, 10 minutes for this first half. Let's go over a little bit of the scoring for you. Right now, for Elsberry, Tanisha Henderson has 4 points. Peyton Robinson has 2 points. Candace Dowell has 2 points. Kylie Kinsler has 3 points. Mackenzie Gladney has 2 points. And Tyra Henderson has 1. Yep, that adds up to 14. On the free throw shooting for Elsberry, Tanisha Henderson is 2 for 2. Peyton Robinson's 2 for 2. Kylie Kinsler is 1 for 2. And Tyra Henderson is 1 for 4. Again, I'm having trouble keeping up with the fouls here because they don't have them on the scoreboard. And I'm clear across the court from where he's giving out the referee's giving out the signals, holding up the fingers. And I'm having a hard time seeing them from here to see what number because he's not calling them out. So at this point in time, the information that I have is Abby Jenkins has 1 foul, Candace Dowell has 1, and Peyton Robinson has 2. And that's 4 fouls, and that corresponds with them showing 4 fouls for Elsberry. I'm missing 2 fouls on the Wright City side. What I'm showing is Abby Raines with 1 foul, Jasmine Simpson with 2, and Dayton Gurley with 1. But they're showing 2 more fouls there that I don't know who they're on. So we'll just have to see if later on in the game that turns out to be anything to be concerned about. But anyway, I guess I could go over Wright City's scoring. Kelsey Capstick has 1 free throw. She's 1 for 2 from the line. Jasmine Simpson has 2 field goals and missed 1 free throw. And Dayton Gurley has 2 field goals. So 4 points apiece for Jasmine Simpson and Dayton Gurley, and 1 point for Kelsey Capstick. And that's 9 points, and that's what it adds up to. So let's go ahead and take some breaks here. Throw some more commercials in. Maybe I can get through the whole thing tonight. So here we go.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
You're listening to the Indian Sports Network, courtesy of the Elsberry Democrat. Log on to www.elsberrydemocrat.com today.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust invites everyone to come to the game, the high school sports games that are going on right now. All area teams have put a great amount of effort and time in to perfect their skills, and they are ready to play. Support the community schools and students by cheering them on to a great season of games. People's Bank and Trust proudly supports the area teams and looks forward to seeing you at each and every game.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We take the time to know you and your healthcare needs. Most prescriptions are filled in 15 minutes or less, and we offer free local delivery and a friendly and knowledgeable staff to answer your questions. Better service, better value, better healthcare. Locally owned and operated and proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com. At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We have numerous programs to help your wallet as well as save precious time. Save money with our RX Savings Club program, and you can save time with our medication synchronization program, where we fill your prescriptions at the same time each month. We also offer our medication adherence program to help you remember to take your medications on time as prescribed by your doctor. Better value, better service, better health care. Locally owned and operated, and proud to be your local independent pharmacy in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com. Hi, my name is Jerry Callahan, pharmacist and owner of the medicine shops in Troy and Elsberry Pharmacy. We strive every day to bring better service, better value, and better health care to our friends in our communities. We want to say thank you for your support, and we're proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Okay, a little under 2 minutes. I'm sorry, a little under 2.5 minutes to go to the second half starts. And got being serenaded by the band tonight, but looks like they're not going to play any longer. I'll show them. They're all walking out. They were in the balcony across the court. But I was noticing up here they have a banner up here for Dave Gerdeman. He was the head coach for the boys basketball 1977 through 1989, and then 1991 through 1994. And he's a 2014 Hall of Fame inductee to the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association. I got to say that I knew Dave Gerdeman earlier whenever I was back in high school. He was the basketball coach for Winfield back in the earlier 70s whenever I went to school there. So nice to see someone from my past is a Hall of Fame inductee over here at Wright City. I knew when he left Winfield, I knew that he came over here to coach at Wright City. I remember right. I'm thinking that this is his hometown. But anyway, less than a minute to go in the halftime here. Let me go ahead and change the quarter to quarter number 3. I'm not real good at changing those things. So anyway, we are in quarter number 3. And we're about ready to start this. About ready to start this second half of this ball game. Third quarter, which is, I guess you could call it a third quarter, the first half of the second half. So Elsberry's going to take the ball out of bounds. And they're probably going to wait a few seconds until Wright City comes out there. It's hard to play defense when you're on the sidelines. So Tanisha Henderson with the ball. Over to Abby Jenkins, back over. And there's Kelsey. Kelsey Plaster had it. I thought she was going to do a 3-point shot. She kicks it back out to Tiny Henderson, and she gets 2 points. There was a shot for Jasmine Simpson, no good. There, from right underneath, there is Mackenzie Gladney. And quickly, Wright City calls a timeout. Score goes from 14-9 to 18-9. Quickly, less than a minute, 7:02 remaining in the third quarter. And Tiny Henderson and Mackenzie Gladney have both gotten field goals. And so Wright City wanted to slow this down as they took a 30-second timeout. And good to see Elsberry hit a couple shots from underneath, because they've had some trouble with that. Well, they've had trouble with that the entire season. But tonight, especially early in the game, they couldn't hit anything from right underneath. And like I preach at every one of these games, you got to hit free throws and you got to hit those shots from underneath. I mean, it's nice and exciting to see those 3-pointers, but the bread and butter is in those shots underneath. You don't get the opportunities for 3-pointers that often, and those are not percentage shots. Whereas the shots from underneath should be percentage shots. So Wright City with the ball. And they get it in. Little half-court pressure here. Little half-court zone pressure from Elsberry. And that pass was broken up, and I believe it's going to be on Mackenzie Gladney, and it is. That's her first foul tonight, unless I missed one. That inbound pass is broken up by Tiny Henderson. So Wright City with the ball out of bounds over on the far court. Far sidelines, I should say. Now they're get it in to Gurley. Now it's back out again on the perimeter. And Mackenzie Gladney tried to break that up, and she was called for a foul. So 2 quick fouls on Mackenzie Gladney. That's 2 fouls on Elsberry, 2 team fouls on Elsberry. Kylie Kinsler gets in front of that one, knocks it out of bounds. They get the ball into Dayton Gurley. Now here's back out of the perimeter, and okay, now we have a foul on Kelsey Flaster. That's her first. They said she put an elbow out on Jasmine Simpson. 15-foot shot. Oh, and it rolls in. That was Dayton Gurley with 2 points. 18-11 is the score. Out on the perimeter from Elsberry. Kinsler looked at driving the line and changed her mind. Now, same thing. She changed her mind. Jenkins with the ball. Now back over to Tiny Henderson. Elsberry doing a good job of and now the ball is stolen away, but Tanisha gets it back. It's ball down deep underneath to Mackenzie Gladney. She can't get the shot away from underneath. And there's 2 more points for Tiny Henderson. Score is 20-11. And that ball's put up by Dayton Gurley for 2 points. Nice little drive there for her. Elsberry moving the ball around quite well. Underneath to Mackenzie Gladney, and her shot is blocked. Tries to put it up again, and Gurley comes up with it. And pass over to Simpson, and she couldn't hang on to it. Out of bounds goes to Elsberry. And Peyton Robinson is now coming in for Kelsey Flaster. Score of 20-13. 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Underneath to Tyra Henderson, and she gets 2 points and draws the foul. That foul is on 23, I believe. That's who I'm going to say it is, Mercedes Ray. So Tyra with 1 shot, and it is good. (23-13), 10-point lead for Elsberry. Wright City once again throws the ball out of bounds. So a little bit of Wright City being just a little bit out of control. Elsberry gets the ball in, no pressure at all from Wright City. And the pass was intended for Tyra Henderson. It's broken up by Mercedes Ray. Get the ball into Tyra Henderson. She gets it underneath to Kylie Kinsler, and it is good for 2 points. So Elsberry's hitting their shots a little better from underneath here in this second half. Wright City drives the baseline, can't get it. And now the foul is on Elsberry. That foul is on Tyra Henderson, I believe. It's her first. Gladney and Tanisha Henderson come out of the game. Shot was no good, but number 23, Mercedes Ray, up with 2 points after she got the rebound. Over to Kinsler for a shot and 2 points. And that was Kelsey Capstick drove. She drove the line and couldn't get the shot, and I don't know who that foul was on. Looked like he said 20, probably 32, Olivia Kinsler. First shot is good for Kelsey Capstick. I believe that foul was on Olivia Kinsler. Thought he said 22, but it's probably 32. Second shot rims out for Capstick. And there's 2 more points for Peyton Robinson, I think. Right underneath to Ray. That foul was on Peyton Robinson. That's her third. Puts Mercedes Ray on the line for 2 shots. First shot is no good. Very flat shot, that first one. So's that one, no good. And Robinson with the rebound. Tyra from right underneath. 2 points. Timeout is called. A 30-second timeout called by Wright City.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. Score is 31-16. Elsberry over Wright City. And I just want to mention that on my scoring here, it is absolutely unofficial. So I can make mistakes on who I give the points to. And Wright City drove in, and it was not there. And let's see, they're saying off-white and pointing. I don't think they know whose ball this is. Anyway, it's White's ball. Get the ball in Now here's a 15-foot shot, and it falls in for Dayton Gurley. That's 10 points for her tonight. Ill-advised pass there from Tiny Henderson to Tyra Henderson. And ended up with a jump ball, and on alternating possessions, that goes over to Wright City. Long pass over, and that ball was just out of the reach of Tiny Henderson. And ball knocked out of the air by Kylie Kinsler, and Candace Dow comes up with it and brings it up the court. Get the ball in deep to Tyra Henderson, and she puts it up and cannot get it to drop. And Wright City's bringing it down the floor fast. And number 10, Abby Raines for 2 points. A little over a minute to go in the third quarter. 31-20 is the score. Elsberry over Wright City. There's a long 2-point shot for Tyra Henderson. No good, and the rebound goes to Wright City. Wright City has the ball in an 11-point deficit. And there's a long shot, and that should be an over the back on number 20. It is. That's at least 3 on Jasmine Simpson. So we have Mackenzie Gladney in the game now. Kelsey Flaster, Candace Dowd, Tiny Henderson, and Tyra Henderson. That's who's playing for Elsberry. Kelsey Flaster underneath and cannot hit the shot. Wright City with the rebound. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Tyra Henderson steals that ball right away. 16 seconds. And there's going to be a double dribble. She tried to pull the ball up, and it fell out of her hands, and double dribble. 13.5 seconds to go. 31-20 is the score. Elsberry over Wright City. So let's see if they get the shot away. Long shot, no good. And that is the end of the third quarter. So let's take a break here.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Okay, here we are back for the fourth quarter. Final quarter of regulation in this game. Tiny Henderson with the ball, gets it over to her sister Tyra. Long pass to Candace Dowell, and she hits for 3. It's her first three-pointer of the night. So Wright City with the ball on their end. Long pass. They're making some really long passes here. Got kind of trapped, but they got out of it okay, and there's a 15-foot shot, and that's good for Mercedes Ray. Tanisha Henderson brings it down the floor. And then she takes a 15-foot shot, no good. And Wright City brings it down the floor fast. They go in for 2 points, and it falls in, and that is number 10, Abby Raines. 10-point lead for Elsberry. Get it to Mackenzie Gladney, and her shot is blocked, and Wright City brings it. But there's a foul called. It's going to be on Elsberry. Let's see if I can see his fingers. That foul is on Mackenzie Gladney. And I believe that's her third tonight. And she's coming out of the game. 6.5 minutes to go in regulation, 34-24. We have Abby Raines on the line. Shot is no good. And Kylie Kinsler comes up. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Kelsey. Underneath to Tyra Henderson. She gets the shot, and she also gets a foul. So Tyra Henderson on the line. She's 2 for 5. Make that 3 for 6. No pressure at all from Elsberry for Wright City coming up the floor. 13-point lead for Wright City. I'm sorry, for Elsberry. Wright City doing a good job of getting it around the floor. Their passing is really good. And now the ball stolen by Tiny Henderson. And she takes it in, and it rolls laid up there on that rim for about 3 days before it decided to fall out. Kelsey Flaster did pick up the rebound. And I put the foul on wrong one. It was 21, not 12. Dayton Gurley had the foul. So the first shot is good for Kelsey Flaster. That's her first points of the night. Second shot is good. And Wright City drives the line, and rebound comes to Tyra Henderson. She brings it down the floor and passes it out to Candace Dowell. And that pass was over to Kylie Kinsler. And broken up by Wright City and goes out of bounds off of Wright City. So Elsberry has the ball. Candace Dowell now has it. Gets it to Kelsey Flaster. She got it in to Kylie Kinsler. And Kinsler was fouled. And I didn't see who the foul was on. Dowell for 2, no good. And long pass over to Mercedes Ray, and she just couldn't quite handle it, and she was called for traveling. So Wright City putting a full court press on now. And there was a foul called on either 2 or 20. If it was 20, that's at least 4 on her, but I don't know who it was on. That foul was on number 10, Abby Raines. So that's going to put Candace Dowell on the line for a 1-and-1. .459 remaining in regulation. 39-24, 15-point lead for Elsberry. First shot is good for Dowell. 16-point lead. She's going to try to make it a 17-point lead. She does not, but okay, Wright City comes up with that rebound. And there was a really good layup there for number 11, Kelsey Capstick. Ball stolen by Wright City. Ball is up and good for number 20, Jasmine Simpson. So a little rally here for Wright City, and we have a timeout.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Okay, 4.5 minutes to go in this regulation. And it's going to be Elsberry's ball underneath the far basket. Kinsler gets the ball into Tyra, and she makes a long pass over here to Gladney. And the ball is stolen away by Wright City. Like I said, they have quite the little rally going on right now. 12-point lead for Elsberry, but Wright City is whittling into that. So they're still passing it around in the perimeter, looking for anything down underneath. And there is a foul on Kylie Kinsler. I really kind of thought that was going to be an offensive foul. It's Kelsey Capstick definitely put her shoulder down and her elbow out, but that's not the way they called it. First shot is good for Capstick. 11-point lead, 40-29. Second shot is no good. So Dowell with the ball, bringing it up the floor. Tiny Henderson dribbling around all the way over to Tyra. She puts it up, no good, does not draw the foul, and Wright City brings it up the floor. And that shot is good for Abby Raines. So Elsberry's down to a 9-point lead. And Tiny Henderson is called for a travel. So Wright City has a definite run going on here. They've got about a 9-0 run going on Elsberry right now. And Tyra gets in there and breaks that one up. .3:15 remaining. Wright City tries to drive the line, and there was an offensive foul called on Wright City. It's Riley Shear with an offensive foul called on her. So Wright City with full court pressure now. Seems to have been working the last few plays. Kinsler has the ball out of bounds, gets it into Tiny. And she tries to dribble through, and now Kinsler has the ball. Tries to get it over to Tyra Henderson, but it's knocked out of bounds by Wright City. 2:57 remaining. Ball into Kylie Kinsler. Tanisha now has it. There's a 15-foot shot, no good. And Tiny Henderson steals that ball right away. That was a layup in the works for Wright City. Right underneath to Tyra, and she could not get it to drop. I don't know if she's got the flu or what, but none of her shots from underneath are dropping in. And we have another full timeout for Wright City. Under 2.5 minutes to go. 9-point lead for Elsberry. Let's take a break.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Okay, set things up here. 2:28 to go in regulation time. Elsberry's ahead 40-31. They've basically controlled this game until the fourth quarter. And Wright City, especially in the second half of this fourth quarter, Wright City has really come on. Each team has 8 fouls, so they are both in a single bonus. The possession arrow is in favor of Elsberry. But right now, Wright City has the ball out of bounds. So as we get ready to go back to play, Wright City gets the ball in, and Elsberry sticking with the zone defense. And Mackenzie Gladney jumped in there and got the jump ball. But you can see a definite difference in the referees. They waited quite a while before they called that jump ball. And I've seen a lot of traveling tonight that wasn't called. I mean, they're consistent on everything. But there's a lot of different play going on. And there's underneath to Kylie Kinsler for 2 points. And Elsberry kind of breaks their scoring slump. Back to an 11-point lead. And Wright City fumbles the ball, and it comes right to Tiny Henderson. She gets the ball underneath to Kylie Kinsler. She was about 5 feet away, and her shot was blocked. And tried to get the ball into Tyra Henderson, and it was broken up by Wright City. So with a little over a minute and a half to go, they'll try the same thing. Gets the ball underneath to Tyra, and her shot did not drop. Wright City with the ball, passing it around, and they're kind of fumbling it around a little bit. It's not looking good, and there was a travel right there in the other game. Jasmine Simpson with a shot that should have gone in, but it didn't. And Tanisha Henderson just passed up an easy 10-foot shot there, 10-point shot. Yeah, I think she should have taken that. 10-foot shot. Under a minute to go. And Peyton Robinson with the ball gets it back out on the outside, and Elsberry's just holding on to the ball. And now Tanisha Henderson out on the point with it. And she is fouled by number 23, Mercedes Ray, with 33.2 seconds remaining in this ball game. Tanisha Henderson is on the line for a 1-and-1. First shot is no good. So Wright City with the ball, bringing it up the floor. And there was a foul called on Peyton Robinson. That's at least 4 on her. And they're not pulling her out, so it must only be 4. That puts Abby Raines on the line for a 1-and-1. First shot is good. 42-32, 24.3 seconds remaining in the game. Second shot is good. Candace Dow with the ball, gets it over to Tyra Henderson, and she looks behind her, and she draws a foul. That foul is on number 20. That is Jasmine Simpson, and I believe that's 5 on her. So 18.9 seconds to go. Jasmine Simpson, one of their top players, fouls out. Puts Tyra Henderson on the line for 2 shots. First shot rims in and out. Second shot is good. Wright City with the ball, brings it up the court, 16 seconds. Ball stolen by Elsberry, and Tiny Henderson has it. And that foul is on Kelsey Capstick. So with 7 seconds to go, it puts Tiny Henderson on the line. She is 2 for 3 tonight from the free throw line. And first shot is good. Second shot is good. 7 seconds to go, and Wright City brings it up. And long shot there for Wright City, but the buzzer says it's the end of the game. Final score, 45-33. That is Elsberry over Wright City. And so Elsberry pulls this one out. And double victory tonight here from Wright City. And go over a little bit of the scoring for you. Tanisha Henderson ended the night with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. Peyton Robinson with 4 points. Candace Dow with 6 points. Kylie Kinsler with 9 points. Mackenzie Gladney with 4. Kelsey Flaster with 2. And Tyra Henderson with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So the two Henderson girls got 10 points apiece. And for Wright City, we had Abby Raines with 8 points. Kelsey Capstick with 5 points. Jasmine Simpson with 6 points. Dayton Gurley with 10 points, and Mercedes Ray with 4 points. Right there towards the end, there is absolutely no doubt that Wright City was bringing it on. But Elsberry was able to hold them off. And so I'm not sure what's going on out here right now on the court. But either way, congratulations to the Elsberry Lady Indians on their victory tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and back it on out of here. And we will see you tomorrow night from Elsberry as they play the makeup games for the homecoming games against Louisiana. So until tomorrow night, this is Kenny Masterson for the Indian Sports Network saying goodbye. So goodbye from Wright City.